Hello, everyone. My name is Brooke Berry. I am the Senior Social Media Manager here at VidCon, and I just want to thank every single one of you for coming out and joining us today. I'm very excited about today's conversation because we are going to be chatting about what to do after your content blows up and how to keep yourself relevant after one viral video. So without further ado, let's welcome our panelists. Our first panelist today is Rebbeca Bibb, a digital talent agent at United Talent Agency. Hello, Rebecca.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining. Carly and Erin, welcome to you both.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Listen, I'm excited to get into today's conversation. So I say let's hop right into these questions. We have a ton of them. Let's get down. Carly and Erin, I have to know right off the bat, how did you guys meet?
We met off of Vine, the old app that is now shut down, unfortunately.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Vine. How long ago was that? It feels like forever ago, but I feel like it's also like close by.
Yeah, it was definitely like back in 2013. We knew each other just through the app. I lived in Massachusetts. Carly lived in Nebraska. So we just knew each other through the app, and then we met each other in real life in, I think, 2014.
Yeah. And then we moved to LA together basically in 2015.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
I love the internet for that reason. Melissa, the question for you both is, what was that first piece of content that went viral for each of you, and what was that experience like overall?
Well, I feel like for us, it was very gradual. I feel like we didn't have one video that was just like crazy viral or anything, but we started a channel together and then we kind of just made content continuously after that on YouTube. And yeah, so there's no like video that went crazy viral. I don't think that like set our careers off or anything, but
yeah,
it's definitely over time thing.
Yeah, no, that was actually going to be my question. If you guys actually created content prior to, you guys developing your career, or if you had those moments prior to meeting. Very nice. Well, listen, Rebecca, my question is for you. As a digital talent agent in this space, when do you take notice of creators that had viral moments?
As a digital agent, I mean, we're always keeping up with the major platforms and trying to find those creators before they pop. So yeah, I think it's really identifying those creators before they kind of make it. Like for example, Carly and Erin, I was lucky enough to kind of meet them before, like at the beginning of their career. I think it was about 3 years ago now, and I had been watching them. I think they were super engaging. There was something special about them, and so I reached out, and we've been working together ever since. But it was really exciting to find these creators at the start of their career.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. When you're bringing on creators, Rebecca, what avenues are you looking at and considering? Is it the goal right off the bat to generate revenue, or are you looking more into talent that you can develop that, could potentially lead to long-lasting careers?
So I always look for talent that can hopefully expand off of just the main platform that they're known for. So whether that's expanding to podcasts, launching a product line, or getting into music, acting, whatever it is, hopefully they have some kind of goal and talent that they can take off of the one platform that they have. And then I think it's always, definitely important to develop that talent and into a long-term career. I think it's never good to generate right off the bat. I think if you're a creator and you have a manager or an agent that is looking for you to make money quick and do any opportunity that comes your way, then I think that's probably the wrong fit for you. It's definitely important to find opportunities and commit to those opportunities that are going to help grow you. This last year, actually, Carly and Erin had a 2-year-long partnership with just a brand, and we had a competing offer come in this past year, and it was a pretty nice offer, and it was almost too hard to pass up. But because we had this long-term partnership with this other brand, it just wouldn't make sense for them to work with this competitor. So just as a team, we worked together to determine that it wasn't a fit at the moment. But some people could take that payday and just run with it. But it's really important to have that strong team around you to help make those decisions. And that's why it's just super important to have that right agent, right manager, whoever it is, help guide you through your career.
No, I mean, you bring up a good point. It has to be a fit, right? You just can't, it's sort of a marriage, so to speak. So all of the elements have to come together. I have a lot more questions for you, Rebecca, but Carly and Erin, I am curious. I know you mentioned you didn't have that one viral pop, but when did, your online content and making that, when did that start translating into real life? Like, do you guys remember the first time you got noticed, and what was that transition experience like?
Erin, do you want to go?
Sure.
Sorry,
I think we both started getting recognized, I guess, when we were on Vine, but for me, it was less in real life and more of like friends of friends would see me on another friend's Snapchat story, be like, oh my God, you know that girl from Vine, like that kind of thing. And then when Carly and I started making videos together, I think that was a little crazier because we had less of a following at first, and we were like, oh my God, people watch our silly YouTube videos that like are not many people are watching. So it was really crazy, but also very nice to just meet people that support our channel.
Yeah.
Carly, what about you?
Yeah, so I remember I worked at Target for a while I was on Vine right before I moved to LA. And I remember the first time I got recognized was just this like teenage boy was in Target and he asked for a photo. And my manager was so confused. She was like, why is this kid asking you for a photo? And I was just like, we're literally stocking shelves and like taking photos with fans. I mean, it didn't happen like that often, but when it did, it was just like really weird. It was cool, but it was weird given the circumstances of me just like at work.
I'm sure that is quite the experience. So you guys, I know, how do you guys keep up the momentum from creating content in general? Not every piece of content performs the same in general. How do you guys find that inspiration within each other to just keep that, momentum going and continuing to build out that business?
It's never been, oh, sorry.
Oh. Classic, I was talking over another.
Well, I was just going to say, I think for us, it's like pretty easy for us to put out videos just because like in normal times, we're just like always together anyways. And it's never been like, oh no, we have to beat this last video with a better video. It's just like genuinely fun. And we've been doing it for years now and it still doesn't feel old. Like I don't feel that sense of like YouTube burnout at all. So I'm happy about that. I think I forgot the question. I'm sorry.
I think it's beneficial too that we do have each other to kind of bounce off of, because if like I'm having a bad day and I'm like, I don't feel like filming today or something, then Carly will be like, no, we got to post the video, and vice versa. I feel as if we didn't have each other to push one another, then circumstances may be a little different.
Definitely. Yeah.
It's crazy how you guys have pivoted your content during COVID though, because you aren't seeing each other all the time and you guys still have been able to post 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And then now you're even posting on your main channels every day for Vlogmas. So like, it's just,
That's interesting, Rebecca. I mean, I would love to hear from you guys just a bit how your experience in quarantine has been, kind of keeping that momentum, so to speak, with each other. And, Erin, as you mentioned, keeping each other motivated.
It's hard. I mean, it's definitely, we had to like completely reformat our videos because we were just doing vlogs for the most part. And so now it's like every video is just like one video, like we're sitting down talking to the camera about a subject or something. And it's definitely different. And it's not like what we're used to, and we're apart obviously. So I feel like the audience sees that change, and a lot of people are excited that we're still posting 3 days a week and everything, but obviously like they do feel it too, which sucks. But I feel like we're doing the best we can given the situation. So I'm like proud of it. It's just, it definitely sucks, but I'm happy that we still get to work and everything. So
I agree.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting. I think you guys brought up a great point. Oh, I'm so sorry, Erin. Am I cutting you off?
Nope, not at all.
I thought you guys brought up a good point about pivoting, and I think that's really important. You know, as we talk about things going viral and everything having its moments, that creative pivot is always important because, as we know, we never know what the world has in store for us. Kind of switching gears a bit, Erin, let's start off with you. I'm curious for both of you. You know, how soon into your career did you decide to bring on that first representation?
Well, I think it happened right when Carly and I decided to start a YouTube channel because at the time there was, it was called Collab, and they were signing a bunch of Viners, and we were both signed to Collab. And then we posted a YouTube video, and then they were like, we want to just like make this a whole series with you. So for us, both of us, it was pretty just like right into our career.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was like right away, basically.
No, that's amazing.
And there's so many different representatives you can have these days. I mean, there's agent, there's manager, there's MCN, there's publicists you can have on your team, there's lawyers. So I think it's really focusing on what your goals are and what you want to pursue, and then you'll build that team around you.
Yeah, and we work with different MCNs and and like outside managers that'll like randomly bring us stuff, but we're not like signed to them. But Rebecca's definitely been like the best, and it's just nice because like we all talk pretty much every single day, and like we can just talk to her like a friend, and we'll go out to eat and stuff. So it's like, it's really nice to have that relationship too, because it makes it so much easier and more trusting, I think, with brand deals and whatever you're working on. So that's always like a good thing to have, I think.
Yeah. We got lucky.
Yeah.
I got lucky. I mean, that's one thing I look for in talent is talent that are hardworking. And you guys, I don't think in the last 3 years I think you've missed one of your videos on like a Monday or a Tuesday, Friday, Sunday. Your schedule like is insane. So, I mean, it's amazing. And yeah, that's just something I definitely look for when I sign new talent.
And just to be clear, that was David's fault, not ours.
Yeah, it was.
That's great. Rebecca, you brought up an interesting point about there being different representation. You know, Carly and Erin, I'm curious to hear from you guys. Carly, I'll start with you. You know, when you bring reps into the fold of your creative process and professional preference, you know, what are you looking for and how is that experience? Is that hard to do at first? And, you know, as you kind of get comfortable with the person, I imagine you start to let go of the reins a little bit and, you know, that whole experience.
Yeah, well, it's tough because I feel like if you're brand new to the internet, like I see a lot of really new TikTokers and stuff doing brand deals, and I'm always just like, I wonder if they know their worth, because I feel like that's such a big thing with social media. It's hard to think about a price for an Instagram post or a TikTok or something like that. So I feel like that's a huge thing. What was the question again? I always get so sidetracked.
Oh, no, you're okay. No, just curious what you guys think in terms of, you know, how you bring reps into the fold of your creative process, you know, in terms of editing, just all of those things, where you kind of look for that additional help from your team.
Oh, yeah. So anytime like somebody reaches out and wants to work with us, or if like a brand DMs me on Instagram, or same with Erin, I'll forward that to Rebecca, because she obviously is the professional at, you know, negotiating and figuring out like what I should be getting for payment. So any type of brand deal or anything, anytime we want to like do something new, like a podcast or something like that, it's nice to have somebody to go through who knows exactly the right places to go and what you're worth. And yeah, I feel like just if you're doing anything on social media, it's nice to have a representative just for everything, really.
Yeah.
For sure.
Erin, has it been the same?
Of creators these days, so it's definitely important to have some sort of representation that, like Carly said, knows your worth and knows your value and what you should be getting in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Erin, has your experience been the same?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's good too, because like we are at that point with Rebecca specifically, where it's like we have a really good relationship. I feel like there have been people in our past where we necessarily haven't had that same relationship. So having someone that we can like constantly rely on and trust to make really good decisions as a team, that's been really great in terms of like Carly and I doing the best we can for our creative processes. Like, we always get Rebecca's input, especially when it comes to branded content. So it's really helpful.
Yeah.
And then also, I always recommend that you guys have been, you don't need one, or maybe you do. You never told me, but I always recommend getting an editor. If you can't put out the content that you want to get out, definitely bring on an editor to the team. People can adapt to your editing style if that's a concern. But that definitely takes a big lift off of the creator if it's difficult for somebody to put out the content that they want to put out.
100%. And on that, I'm just personally curious, in that regards to that specific example, say you want to bring on an editor, Carly, Erin, is that something in your mind, okay, I have someone I want to ask, or would you go to Rebecca of like, I'd like to gather some submissions and some thoughts and,
Yeah, it's hard because, I feel like for our videos are so easy to edit. I mean, in my opinion, for like when we do our vlogs, it's literally just like cutting. So I wouldn't even I feel like we would not need an editor for that. If we did something with like multi-cams or something like that, I do most of the editing just because I really like to edit. And I thoroughly enjoy it, but I don't know how to edit that advanced. So I definitely would want to find somebody, but I don't know. I've never really thought about where to find somebody. I feel like definitely go through Rebecca, or maybe if our friends have had a good editor or something. I think that's a good thing too. When you're friends with people in the same space, there's always recommendations for basically everything. So that helps too, definitely.
Yeah, as a rep, I always am open to putting up meetings and interviews for editors or other people for the team, or thumbnail editors. People want that too if they can't do that. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea actually.
Oh, that's great. Rebecca, as you mentioned earlier, you touch so many different kinds of reps. In your opinion, do you find that agents and representation of all kinds typically gravitate towards viral talent, or has the space evolved and changed, especially in 2020 and people are looking for creators that they can foster, or, is there a mix of both even?
I think there can be a little bit of both. Personally, I always want talent that I can foster and grow, like Carly and Erin, and kind of grow with them along the way. It's always fun to see your talent grow and to do different, bigger opportunities. But I think with the rise of TikTok, you've seen a lot of obviously viral creators. So it's kind of getting in the door if you do think that there's something unique and special about them, and if there's actually talent there. So I think a little bit of both, but for the most part, looking for talent that has longevity.
Yeah, that's great. And to that extent, what are some factors you look for when you're signing clients? And even, the end of that, what are some red flag type factors that you would consider leaning away towards signing a particular talent?
Some factors that I look for in talent, I think a creator that's still on the rise and still growing, I think is important. If you're losing followers and just not performing well, then it's not somebody that you should probably take interest in at that time. I'm looking for talent just with unique voices, again, actual talent, which is, just people with actual talent and can entertain you and engage with their audience. Also, as an agent, I'm working with brands all day long. So I'm assessing if they're a right fit for the brands that I have relationships with, or the opportunities that the businesses that I've worked on and grown, and if they would be a fit for those opportunities. And then red flags, I think if the creator's not willing to put the work in, then it's not going to work. And I've seen it before where the creator expects so much from their representatives that they're not doing anything themselves. They're not putting out videos. They're not responding. So that's really frustrating. And I think you can you can always tell that by the first couple of months of working with somebody, but also just kind of usually from the first meeting with them, you can usually tell their personality. And yeah, I think that's my biggest red flag.
Do we have any red flags, Rebecca?
You do not. That's why you're so great. You always post on time. You're always posting. You're always looking for, I don't know. You're easy to work with, and that's what it makes my job easier.
It's the match made in heaven. I told you, it's the marriage. It works. All the pieces coming together.
It does.
It does. To shift gears a little bit, Carly and Erin, do you often know when something is going to perform well, or is it sometimes a surprise what performs well and what doesn't perform well? Erin, I'll start with you.
Sometimes there are surprises, but I think that we've gotten to the point where we're like, oh, we're excited to post this because we know it's going to do well. And we do a lot of like repeat videos on our channel that if fans or subscribers really engage with that and really like it, we want to keep doing it. So we do have like this little mini series that we do when we like bring two of our friends with us to Starbucks, and like everybody loves it. So we always know that those ones will like do very well for our channel, and they're just like fun and silly for us to do too. So it's like a win-win.
Yeah,
that's a great
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I always like doing stuff that you've done before. If it's performed well before, it's likely going to perform well again, and just putting a little different twist on it.
That's amazing. Carly, any thoughts?
I mean, same. I guess on top of that, there definitely have been videos where I feel like we've worked really hard on that like did not do well, but then we'll post like a vlog of like it feels like nothing. We're just like living our lives and we post it. It does way better. So I feel like that's the thing with the internet too. You just have no idea sometimes that how something's gonna go, or you expect it to go a certain way and it just goes the other way. So it's always just really interesting.
Totally.
It is. It's like throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing what sticks.
Yeah. I mean, for real.
It's true, especially if you're launching a new platform. Like if Erin, you wanted to start TikToking more, like it's just testing out different formats and different things. You're not gonna, I mean, for the most part, you're not gonna blow up overnight. So yeah, it's just testing out different formats on all the different platforms. The algorithm is different for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, Rebecca, and obviously Carly and Erin, feel free to chime into this next question. But Rebecca, you've signed someone. What do those beginning conversations look like? What are the key next steps when you do bring on a client?
It's finding out their goals, what they're interested in doing, what they want to pursue. Is it more of the brand side of things? Is it a podcast? Is it acting? Whatever it is, at least at an agency, we'll bring on the appropriate people from those departments to help grow that part of their business. But yeah, it's really just focusing on what that talent wants to do and what they're looking to do in their career, and understanding what they want out of me too.
Yeah, very nice. Cool. Anything to add, Carly and Erin?
I've never signed anyone. I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair point. All right. What are you guys looking for when you guys are looking for talent?
When I look for talent.
When you guys are looking for a manager.
What do you look for when you sign someone?
I think Rebecca approached it in a way where she was like consistently reaching out to us, and like a lot of other people were, but she was, I don't know, the way she did it was like, oh, this is nice. I feel like I like her and can trust this person, as opposed to people who just send a general message that's like, I know you're sending this to literally every person you can think of. And Rebecca was really like personable and like said specific things that either Carly and I had done. And I was like, okay, this like seems pretty legit. So I think right off the bat, we were like, well, she seems interested in us. And then for me, that was really good.
Value.
I mean, you keep saying it's such a relationship thing. You have to all get along with each other. You have to trust each other. So yeah, it's finding that right person, right team member that is going to be your biggest advocate and just trustworthy. And has the same end goals that you do.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's great. Guys, we have a few audience questions, a couple I want to get into here. For Carly and Erin, when you're looking at representation, and we kind of answer this from Rebecca's side of, point of view, but when you are looking for representation, what are some red flags that creators should be looking out for?
Gosh, I mean, I think when somebody tries to bring you any deal, even if it's not very good, like Rebecca will send us things sometimes and be like, the rate's kind of low. I don't think I would take it if I were you. And that's something that's good, because obviously it's like she could take that like cut of whatever deal we got. but she's like being honest with us and saying it's not good. I feel like if it's dishonest, or if it's just like, if they bring you a brand deal or something and you research it and it's like a horrible product, or if it's just like, you know, something like that, that's always a big red flag for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's on the representatives too to have an understanding of what that product is, and if there are any like major issues or controversies or anything like that, that it should definitely be your rep's responsibility. So yeah, totally agree with you, Carly.
Yeah, and I think if you're just like in the middle of looking, I wouldn't like jump to the first person who comes to you. I would definitely like feel it out, see who you connect with, see who you vibe with, because if you just make a quick decision, it could be the worst mistake of your life. If like you don't
get married before you go on a date.
No, you can't.
Exactly. I'm gonna drill that one in.
Well, and now there's so many people in this space right now. Before, I mean, years ago it wasn't. I mean, there were a few good managers, a few good agents. Now there's so many. So definitely take as many meetings as you can and find that right person.
That's
Google them.
Yeah.
Smart.
Rebecca, audience question for you. We have Drew asking, do I need to have a specific number of followers before I start looking at representation?
No, I don't think so. I think like what I said earlier, as long as you're continuing to grow, and if you have some sort of talent that, if you have some sort of talent, I think representation is going to find you. But no, I don't really have a specific threshold. I think I definitely encourage my clients to explore all platforms, all like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. But I think maybe while you're starting out, find that one that is working for you and kind of focus on building that platform. But no, I don't really have a specific threshold. I have clients from 50,000 followers to millions. So I don't have a threshold.
Well, you just answered our last audience question, which was, when looking at talent, should they be on multiple platforms? And there it is.
I think it's definitely important, especially with this TikTok stuff this past year. Is it going away? Is it not going away? I think a lot of my clients were really afraid. And if they had a YouTube channel or Instagram account, then it wasn't as big of a deal. But if TikTok did just go away, then their whole business is gone. So I think have one that you're really focused on, and that's like your main platform, like Carly and Erin, it's YouTube. But they also have massive Instagram accounts. They also have massive TikTok following. So I think it's dabbling in the others, but just focusing on the one that you like too. I think the content that you put out, you have to enjoy doing, or it's going to come across like your audience is going to know that you hate it. So definitely put out what you enjoy filming.
Agreed.
That's fantastic. That's great advice. That's great. Well, listen, guys, we're moving into the end of this conversation, which has been fantastic. I want to end it off with a question for all of you. Carly and Erin, for those who are starting to gain traction and perhaps have had, viral moments of their own, what advice can you give them to leverage that into something that does have longevity?
I think going off of what Rebecca said is just like continuing to make content that you enjoy making and not forcing something. Like, I don't think it should be in your mindset to, like, I need to keep making viral content, because that most likely will fail or make you unhappy. I think it's really important to just like stay true to you and what you enjoy doing in order to be successful.
Yeah, I think it's like a combo of that and like knowing what your audience wants to see. Because you really can't just like make a viral video. Like, it's really up to the internet to make it viral or not. So I feel like it's a wasted energy almost to be like, I've heard so many stories of like marketing companies hiring social media marketers, and they're like, we want to make a viral video for this product, and it's just like, you can't just make a viral video. I don't know, that always drives me insane. But yeah, I think what Erin said, like, if you're true to yourself, and also just like being really consistent too helps so much, because people know exactly when you're posting, and I think that's really important too.
And I don't know if I said this too, but I think doing the trends but putting your own spin on it, I think that kind of makes you stand out a lot of times because you're still following what's popular, but you're putting your own little twist on it. So I always do recommend doing that. And a lot of people with TikTok lately, like, oh, I don't want to do the dances. Well, let's figure out what other format fits you and your audience, whether that's little mini vlogs for TikTok or something else. But finding what works for you and for your audience.
No, that's amazing. Rebecca, I was actually going to ask you what areas creators should be focused on to get, noticed by representation. But I'll follow up that question with, any other general advice outside of anything you've mentioned in terms of for up-and-coming creators looking to bring on representation.
I think it's I think determining whether it's a hobby or a career. If it's a hobby, then I don't know that you necessarily need representation. I think you kind of have to be all in on it because we're all in on it with you, like for you. So being all in on it, I think, again, just finding somebody that you trust is super, super important. We're the ones out there closing your brand deals, closing any opportunity that we're building your business with you. So it's somebody that you have to trust and can just trust with your entire business and with your name.
That makes sense. Making it a career versus it just being a hobby, and that goes to sort of the dedication and really being attentive, and that's fantastic. Yeah, that's great. Well, guys, thank you so much for chatting with us today. It has been a great conversation. Any final thoughts from any of you that you want to leave with our audience today?
Just be yourself. Just have fun and be yourself, and people will be drawn to it. I truly believe that. I feel like people just like watching people live their lives. So if you're, entertaining and fun, people want to watch.
It's literally on the tip of my tongue as you said it.
I know.
Have fun, work hard, and
Yeah, I also think it's important that, like, for us, it was like a hobby that became a job, and you have to just realize that every job is going to be like annoying at times, and it doesn't mean that it's not for you, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I feel like there's times like, why am I complaining about this? It's literally YouTube, but like, it is a job when it comes down to it. So,
and I think also it takes a while to actually start making money off of this. Like, it's not an instant thing. So I think just, being patient with that, and understanding that you're not going to make $1 million in likely your first year of digital space, but, just patience, I think.
And if you do, you are blessed.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this has been fantastic advice. Thank you guys for just coming here and giving your wisdom. Thank you to everybody at home for not only watching, but joining us for our final VidCon Now session of 2020. That is it. This is the grand finale. We will be back in January, everyone, so be sure to check out the agenda and get registered for some more VidCon Now sessions in 2021. We are out.
Bye.